talk about the Champions League. Let's start with Liverpool. Booed at the weekend after being held by Burnley. That's more like it, Clinton.
Yeah, it was a fantastic performance. I think having Mo Salah back gives them a lift. Even though he didn't score today, I thought he had a good game. He was involved in a lot of the play, looked a threat. He'd be disappointed he didn't score. He had a good opportunity where Gakpo played him in. But, yeah, they scored a brilliant free kick through Szoboszlai with the wall jumps, and he's clever. He jumps and plays it under the wall. And I thought it was an all brilliant team performance. There wasn't one player who didn't have a good game. And you have to give special mention to the two new signings, Frimpong and Kirkes. They've been criticised, but I thought they defended well, were good going forward. In particular, Frimpong, who made the second goal for an own goal. So, yeah, I thought it was a fantastic performance from Liverpool. And the biggest thing you take out of that, they were clinical, Jules, and they kept a clean sheet. So you've done well at both ends. You do well at both ends, you'll win football matches.
And how important for them to get through to the last 16 without the need of the lottery of the playoffs, because they've got Qarabag at home in the final game. Now, you'd expect them to win that one, which would surely see them through to the last 16. How important is that for them? And I guess not to have those 2 extra games in the fixture list.
Well, that's what it is. We've got a busy fixture list, so not to have them 2 extra games will be brilliant for them. And you know what it's like. European nights at Anfield is a hard place to go, so it's going to be difficult for Qarabag, and you expect Liverpool to get through. So tonight was an important one. Going to Olympic Marseille, everyone thought it would be different. Could be a kind of banana skin. It's a difficult place to go. The atmosphere is hostile. As soon as Liverpool took the lead, it just went quiet, and they were outstanding. Professional performance, and Arne Slot would be happy with that performance. Really happy with that performance.
And the performance by a number of their new signings as well. There's been question marks over how a lot of them have settled in, but all came to the fore tonight.
Yeah, they did. As I just mentioned, Frimpong and Kirkes, but Wirtz, in particular, he looks like he's stepping up. He's got an understanding with Ekitike. You could never question Ekitike. I think he's been their best signing. He's been outstanding, but I think they have a good combination. They're always looking for each other. So, yeah, really positive performance moving forward. And, yeah, hopefully we're talking about Liverpool climbing up the table and getting positive results, but this was an outstanding result. They went to a hard place, and they were easily the better team and thoroughly deserved the victory. So, credit, and they move on to the weekend.
Yeah. Mo Salah back in the team, and Liverpool 3-0 winners and looking good for the last 16 of the Champions League. Chelsea in with a good chance as well after their win tonight against Paphos, only by a 1-0. Steve, were they better than the scoreline suggested?
They was. I think it's one of them. There'll be Chelsea fans going away from Stamford Bridge tonight a little bit, not disheartened, but a little bit jittery just by going, I don't know what to make of that tonight, because they won 1-0 against a team from Paphos, really, that before the game, people were thinking that's probably going to be 3 or 4, pretty easy. They had to work hard tonight. And what I really liked and respected about their performance was they moved the ball sharp. They moved the ball from side to side. They didn't get disheartened. There weren't hands going up in the air or players blaming each other when a pass didn't come off. And it looked like a team that was buying into whatever Liam Rosenior was saying in the training pitch. Because when they lost the ball as well, wherever they was on the pitch, they hunted it down within 5 seconds to regain the ball and then move it again. They had to go from side to side, as I said. They interchanged position. Malo Gusto came inside, and then that left Neto's space on the wide for 1v1s. They had chances through the middle. They could have scored a few more goals with a little bit of luck. But overall, in and out of possession, I thought they were superb tonight. And full credit as well to Paphos, because they made them work for it. From the minute 1 to the end, you're thinking they're going to tire. They can't keep up this sort of pressing and tracking and moving and being tight. But they did. Even the subs that come on, they knew the drill. They made Chelsea work so hard. But yeah, it was a hard, grinded result. But one that Liam will be absolutely delighted with.
You look at the stats, 21 shots, 7 on target. They need to be more clinical. It seems from those stats they need to be clinical. And by the way, they've got the toughest game in match day 8. They play Napoli, who need to get in the playoff spots. They're on 8 points, playoff spots on 9 points. Out of the English sides, they've got the toughest game.
They've struggled against teams that have sat back and really made it hard for them. They have struggled. Considering when they've had Cole Palmer on the pitch and players like Esteval, you're thinking they can unlock, tight defences. That's been their bearing so far this season. So, but anyway, lessons learned. Onto another positive result.
Yeah, that game in Naples is massive next week. Palace away before that at the weekend. Let's just finish on another positive. Newcastle United, these midweek Champions League nights seem to bring out the best in them, Sue, and good start to a big week for Newcastle.
Yeah, they were brilliant, and we know that they're so strong at home, and that could have been a tricky game against the PSV side that are very good away from home, and they did have players missing, but I just think Newcastle's performance was it was excellent throughout. I thought the forward players did really well. You know, we said about Wissa getting back into sort of fitness and getting back to the levels that we know he can. He looked very much like what we saw him at Brentford. His movement was excellent. He obviously got his goal. He assisted with Gordon's goal. But all front three scored, which is a real boost for them. I thought their midfield had that real sort of energy and intensity about them that you associate with a Newcastle performance. I think the only sort of downside was Bruno Guimaraes having to go off, and you just hope that's not a bad one, because they need him. They need his sort of quality. Although Lewis Miley came on and did a brilliant job in there. Then he went to right back and did a brilliant job in there as well. So, yeah, a real sort of strong performance. And I think second half, they managed the game really well. They were 2-0 up and PSV had, you know, decent bit of possession, but they just stayed in shape. They didn't take any risks. They then scored the third goal and they could relax. And then you could see that once they brought the subs on, they were going for that fourth goal. So, yeah, really good performance. I think Eddie Howe will be delighted with that.
And we've heard it all before. Special night in Paris.
Yes.
A couple of years ago.
Good
I
point.
can see that happening again, by the way.
OK. Right, well, we'll find out. Yeah, it's what a run of games for Newcastle. Villa first on Super Sunday, then they go to Paris to face the champions, and then they've got the small matter of Anfield and the Etihad in the second leg of that semi-final. So some huge games coming up for Newcastle United, but that puts them in a good position. After the disappointments of that goalless draw with Wolves at the weekend, they come roaring back with a 3-0 win tonight, and they are on track for the last 16. Can they take down the champions next Wednesday? Make sure you